All right, for example 3, they're going to give us a sketch graph, and they are going to ask us to graph the inverse function. All right, or it should say just the inverse. Maybe it's not a function. Is the inverse relation a function? They ask us that. But it says sketch the graph of f inverse given that f is the function shown. So this is f of x right here, this curve. And what they want to graph here is f inverse of x. All right, and they went to the trouble of even giving you like these big points here representing actual ordered pairs. You know, in the book maybe they don't do that, but you identify some nice, pretty points that are pretty easy to deal with. So what we got here is 4 points that are marked. This is 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, and this is 1, 2, and this is 0, 1, and that point there is looks like negative 1, positive 1/2. Okay. So if those points exist on f of x, go some different colors here. If 2, 4 is on f of x, that means 4, 2 is going to be on the f inverse of x. And if 1, 2 is on f of x, that means 2, 1 is going to be on f inverse of x. And if 0, 1 0, 1 is a point on f of x, that means 1, 0 is a point on f inverse of x. And finally, if negative 1, 1/2 is a point on f of x, that means 1/2, negative 1 is a point on f inverse of x. Also, another thing you can establish here looking at this picture, it looks like there's a horizontal asymptote happening in here. So imagine you have a horizontal asymptote at x equals 0. X equals 0 is a horizontal asymptote. That means y equals 0 should be a vertical asymptote on the inverse function. So again, everything that's x is y, everything that y is x. So that's what inverse function relationship is. All right. So we get this curve going on here, and then we simply have to connect the dots. So it looks like if I just start here and go that way, it's going kind of like that, right? And as it's coming towards this, it looks like it's approaching the horizontal asymptote here, so I'm going to make that approach the horizontal asymptote here. As far as the question of whether or not that inverse relation is a function, for values greater than 0, every value is hit. Okay, so it is a function. And you can see that only one value for each one, if we did a vertical line test, doesn't go and come back around itself like that, so that would represent a function. So it is the inverse relation function.